This is the Doris Leaper Spruce Creek Preserve, and it's located in Florida. And we're going to take the hike that is goes to the Spruce Creek Mound. And there's some bluffs overlooking Spruce Creek. They're very high bluffs for Florida. The Spruce Creek Mound was built between 500 and 1000 AD, later occupied by Timucuan Indians. So we're going to walk in the vicinity of the mound and take a look at some of the views there. So come join us.
We're going to get our bearings straight first before we start this hike. Doris Leaper Spruce Creek Preserve. 2,500 acres. And the highlight, of course, is the Spruce Creek Mound. It's one of the most famous Indian mounds in Florida, about 40 feet high of what remains of it. We are taking the Overlook Trail, and two of the highlights we're looking for is the Oxbow Overlook. That's a half a mile, and the Sunset Bluff is about a mile and a half, a little less than that. And in that vicinity is where the Spruce Creek Mound is. It's a nice live oak in front of us. It's just a semi-shady trail. It's really nice. It's a wide trail. It's very popular. It looks kind of like some sort of scrub type oak. We're also seeing magnolia on this trail. And show you some of the leaves here. It's a beautiful tree. The blossoms are not in bloom this time of the year. Lots of scrub palmetto along both sides of the trail, and a variety of oak. We're also seeing changes in elevation. This park and Indian Mound is located high above a bluff atop Spruce Creek. And I believe it's well over 100 feet above the river, which is unusual for Florida. And that's one of the highlights of this hike, is seeing the overlooks overlooking the creek. Now we're heading uphill. Very sandy soil as well. And we've hit a crossroads here. This is the Bluff Trail to Sunset Bluff. It's another 1.1 miles. But what we're going to do first is hit the Overlook Trail heading to the Oxbow Overlook, and that's just a quarter of a mile further down. And we'll see if we can rejoin this other trail. And we're heading uphill. At this point, we're reaching the top of a ridge, and then it's going downhill. Might not seem like much, but in Florida, any change of elevation is a real thrill. We don't get to see that too often. and oak tree before us, and this is a nice view of some Spanish moss draped from the tree. And we're approaching the creek. Right at another crossroads. So the overlook trail continues forward. And this is going to be our view here, the Oxbow overlook. And this is our outstanding view from atop Oxbow overlook, including the island there in the middle of Spruce Creek. And beneath us would be the Mound. And we're going to try to get a better vantage point of that. This is your view at the base of Spruce Creek. That's a beautiful example of goldenrod along the river. I believe the Spruce Creek Indian Mound is before us. Another view, Spruce Creek and the island in front of us. But what's impressive is this extremely steep, completely steep, almost 180 degree straight. There's no way of going down this way. And these bluffs are rare in Florida. Another beautiful overlook. And let's enjoy this for a few moments. You see the eastern end of the island here. Just a magnificent view. And just to show you the steep cliff in front of me. It's a straight vertical drop right here. It's 10 feet, but it continues on down. A good view of the grove of palms on the island. And the twisting creek beyond. Now we can continue on the Bluff Trail and we're going to head towards the Sunset Bluff. That's 1.1 miles from this point. We pass through magnolias and oaks and saw palmetto. I got a bunch of laughing horseback riders behind me. I guess it makes the more interesting hike. And Sunset Overlook's supposed to be just as beautiful as Oxbow Overlook. And I'm hoping to see that soon.
Let's go across here. Everybody walks across the trail. Well, I am on the bike trail. Oh, I'm on the wrong trail. It's too late.
My friend and I were best friends in 10th grade.
Yeah, we'll just turn around and go back.
Why are we going that way and they're going this way?
At this point, we're leaving the oaks and the forest canopy above us, and we're seeing a lot of pine / pine, and it's a more scrub oaks. So this is a scrub environment here, wide open to the sun. So I get my dose of vitamin 3. And it's just a different environment than we've had on this hike thus far. As we continue on to the bluff, Sunset Bluff. Continuing along the creek. Just enjoying this view and the atmosphere here. It's as lovely as it gets. Splendid view of Spruce Creek as we approach closer to the Sunset Bluff overlook. In the foreground, we got the Florida's saw palmetto. And here it is, Sunset Bluff. The highlight of the tour. This is the magnificent view of Sunset Bluff. We're atop the bluff right now, looking down onto the creek.
Charcuterie board, because nobody can say charcuterie. Yeah, I had them over and I had a charcuterie.
That makes all the difference. I've ridden that horse twice.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt this trail down the hill, and it is very feasible to do this. So and that puts me at the bottom of the creek. A little hop, step and jump, and I'm here. Okay. So the Spruce Creek Indian Mound, this is the southwest bank of Spruce Creek, and it's located in this vicinity between here and the direction that I'm looking at right now. Further down about a mile is where the Oxbow overlook is. So somewhere between here and there is the Spruce Creek Mound. It's probably best viewed from the river, but I walked along next to the top of the mound. But the whole area is a bluff, and it's hard to differentiate between the mound itself and the bluff. This is the best view here at the bottom. See the bend in the creek. One last view of the creek before we head back. I hope you enjoyed this hike with us along Spruce Creek. If you did, please click like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you on our next adventure.